Okay guys, quick update with Bitcoin. I know it's been a while since I put a video up, but I think it's about time. We are testing a critical support level. And when I say critical, I mean if we break below this point, we know we have a lot more downside. So I'm going to give you key levels above and below and show you why this is such an important support level. And this is a critical support level. We already broke a key support level. So if this does not hold and that becomes resistance, we know we have a lot more downside. So I want to cover these targets for you guys. If you watched the previous video, this was about 10 days ago, and this is about 6 minutes 40 seconds in. I'll put a link to this video now if you want to check it out. Basically, I was telling you based on these previous rings, when we cross a ring, we create a pattern and typically break down from that pattern. We created a pattern here and we broke down from it. So I was telling you the best way to play this is once you cross the ring, to open a short but use lower leverage, lower margin as price continues to drop down, you would add to your short. This would protect you. If price started pushing up, you would lose less. I mean, you could add to your short or open a new short once price touched the ring. But I said you should want to be in your short just in case price drops down. So hopefully you did enter short lower leverage and added to your short as price came down. But it would have been better had you shorted the point I gave you on 38,500, and in Discord I mentioned 39,000. You should still be short from that point. So let me cover a few things on this chart. We're going to go through some other charts, give you some key levels. But as I said, once you cross this ring, previously, historically, every time we cross this ring, we have a lot of downside. Now, this downside right now is this is just a warm-up. As I just showed you previously, I'm expecting a lot more downside. That does not mean we cannot push up and test the key resistance level. I'm just saying historically, as I said, when we cross this ring, we have a lot of downside. This is nothing compared to what's possibly coming. But you can see we caught a bounce from this point. Now, I do keep everybody updated. I know I haven't made a video in a while, but I keep everybody updated in Discord daily, if not hourly. And I was making everybody aware that we were in this pattern. It was a falling wedge that could break to the upside. But because we crossed the orange ring, the odds that we break down from the pattern go way up. Cover the Dow as well and the DXY. I just want to point out, you can see I was pointing out to this yellow line, which was our first critical support level. If that breaks, we notice we caught a bounce there. We pushed up, and then the next point to pay attention to 38,500. You can see we hit that point and we pushed up from that point. So those are your key points to pay attention to. So we're going to go through and cover all of these support resistance levels and the smaller time frame as well, and show you where price could potentially go if we push up or drop. You guys, if you're located in the U.S. looking for exchange to trade on with no KYC, CoinCatch is a great option. Some states in the U.S. you do not even need a VPN, so jump on that while you can. Two other exchanges I use are BitGet and BingX. All of those links to sign up are pinned in the first comment and description. If you want to learn how to trade, this is a video I put up teaching how to trade on BitGet. Once you can trade on them all, once you trade on this one, you can trade on them all. They're all pretty much the same. Link this video now if you want to check it out. So this current chart right now, so again, like I said, once you cross this point, this ring, there'd be a point to open a short with lower leverage. As price continues down, you start adding to your short. So hopefully you did that, but hopefully most of you are still short from above. Now understand, when I say this could be a point too long, I am not telling anyone to close their short from up around 38,500, 39,000. Keep that short open. As I said, once we cross this ring, expect a lot more downside. So you could be short from this point, then you can open a long from here at support. If price pushes up to a key resistance level, you take profit on that long while holding your short and continue to make money. So basically you're scalping longs while holding your short, adding to your portfolio. So I'm giving you scalp targets, but I am telling you, because we cross this ring, I'm expecting a lot more downside, and that depends if we break this key support level here. So that's what I was talking about, basically just showing you how these charts work. And I want to show you how accurate these charts have been. I usually cover the D1, Bitstamp 3.0, H1, a few of these charts. Just want to show you how they played out. Published charts, so this chart was published on October 29, 2023. So this is how price was when it was published. If I hit refresh, you can see it goes right back to this point. If I hit play, see, this is a ring I said too short, but anytime we cross this ring to go long, I said when we cross this orange ring to expect a drop. I hit play, see how this played out. This is how I was able to predict this pattern before price ever got to it. Resistance, support, resistance, support, resistance, support, resistance. We pushed above it, it came support, and I said it was likely that this would be the new pattern. This would be our resistance level, and if we got rejected, we came down to support. And then we pushed up, and that was that video a few videos back where I said you'd want to short on 38,500. Hopefully you guys are short from there, but as you can see, we came down. This was our first key support level. This now resistance, and this is now our critical support level. That needs to hold if you expect more upside. Once that becomes resistance, then we'll have these two key fib channel lines that will be resistance, which means we have a lot more downside from here. So, and this is what I'm talking about. Notice, and I again made a post in Discord about this. Notice that we came down, we found support, right at 39,400. We pushed up, got rejected. We dropped down to this is your key support right now, around 38,500 to 38,400. Notice we pushed up, and this became resistance. So now this is your critical resistance to pay attention to, right around 39,318. You could open a short from this point with a stop above. But again, I think it's the safer play. Keep your short open if you were short. Do not close your short. Again, once we cross this orange ring, we have a lot more downside. This is just a warm-up for what's coming. But you would open a long, keeping your short open, and you could scalp a long while you still ride your short. But I would be long from this point. But once 38,535 becomes resistance, we know we have a lot more downside. And I just showed you that because these are your two most critical resistance levels right here, right? Well, this is your first resistance level. This is currently support, again, around 38,500. So once price, let's say price drops back below, right? See how price is pushing up now. If price pushes up above 39,293 and that becomes support, you definitely want to hold that long, expect some more upside. I'm going to give you those targets. But if price drops below, all right, and now these two lines where they converge, if that becomes resistance, that's a lot of resistance, meaning we'll have a lot more downside. And I'll come back and give you those key levels. So let's cover a few other things, guys. So I showed you how this chart played out, the published version of the Bitstamp 3.0. This is the H1 chart. I just want to show you. I wish I would have published this a long time ago. I published this on January 17th, so more recently. I just want to show you how accurate this chart has been playing out. So if it play, I just want to show you how accurate this has been. Notice we got rejected at this fib channel line right here, right? We came down, almost perfect support. Let me zoom in a bit. There's perfect support here, resistance, support, resistance, perfect support. This is matching with other charts right here. This fib channel line pushed up to the tick, rejected. Notice that this line that was resistance became support. Support, resistance, resistance, tested as support. And you can see what happened. We broke down, right? But look what happened. Support, resistance, support, perfect resistance right here. We came down, support, resistance to the tick. And this hit literally to the dollar. All of these charts were showing key support around 38,500. That's how you knew this was a point to scalp along. And obviously you can see why this would be a key resistance level. And I'll go through these charts and show you this. But again, this is H1 chart. See, we caught it down to 38,500. And your current resistance right now, you can see where we previously found support. Again, this is the H1, so this is on the 1 hour. So this is more for scalping the smaller targets. But notice this was support repeatedly, became support and resistance, became resistance. Now key resistance right now is around 39,362. By the way, if you want to get access to these live charts and our Discord, if you want to sign up, guys, the website is opticalcrypto.com. That link's pinned in the first comment description. I have stocks, tutorials teaching my method how I created these charts. If you do sign up for the $49 option, this monthly, make sure you email me through the website to get access to Discord. Once I verified you've signed up, I'll send you a link so you can join our Discord. So before I give you more targets, I'm going to give you your most key levels to pay attention to right now. This is the D1 chart. I'm going to show you how this played out. This is published on December 3rd, 2023. If you hit play, you can see what happened. Notice we pushed up. This is at that line, this fib channel line. I said would be an ideal point to short. In that video, I said short around 38,500. In Discord, I made a post about shorting 39K. I said once you cross this ring, this is where you would open a short with shorter or with lower margin, lower leverage, then add to your short as we drop. The next daily candle has not shown yet. You have to wait till the following day. I just want to show you how this chart played out. Notice this resistance, perfect resistance right here. Perfect support, perfect resistance, and price has been dropping. And this is the D1 chart, and again, you can see that I added this red line right here. You can see that right here. You see this wick got resistance here, resistance here, resistance here. We pushed above it, and now not only do you have this fib channel line, again on all of these charts showing 38.5K as very key support, you also have this horizontal line here. So again, this is a key support level. You potentially want to chance a scalp long with a stop below. And I'll give you those key levels above to pay attention to. Actually, let me go and give you this one now. So if we do push up, your first major resistance to pay attention to, depending on when you make contact, guys, these charts that are at an angle or these lines are at an angle. So your most key resistance above to pay attention to on the D1 chart is around 40,900. Your most critical resistance level, and again, it's an angle, depends when you make contact, but I would pay attention to this target right up here. So again, you can see right here, this was a resistance. All right, it was resistance, came down, hit this horizontal line here, a support. You see it was support. All the meat of the candle on the daily is above this line. But notice it was support, 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 support. Then it became resistance. So if we pushed up, an ideal point to enter a short would be around 44,300 or 44,400, depending when you make contact. But I do think it is much less likely that we push up and test this ring because so many days or so much time has gone by and we've still been dropping. So while I do think this is an ideal point too long, I would keep your short open. But your most critical resistance level above will be this white line. Again, if we go back to this chart, you can see what I'm talking about here. So right here, again, so you can see this yellow line right here, right? This was resistance, resistance, support, support. It became support, as I talked about in Discord. Now that is resistance, and you have this white line here that is now your key support. So again, if that becomes resistance, you want to open a short or continue adding to your short as price drops. But you can see that, let me get rid of these arrows here. Sorry guys, I didn't plan this out too well. Just want to make sure you have this important information. So you can see currently right here, this, we zoom out a bit, so this line right here that was resistance became support, was support, 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 right? More support. Notice the meat of the candle on the daily is above this point. Then after it became support, it flipped as resistance, right? So it was resistance, resistance, and we dropped. So that's why I'm saying if we push up, your most key resistance level to pay attention to around 33,500. If we get above that and hold support, guys, and let's say the indices start pushing up higher, I will make a video once we get to this point to tell you how to play this or what I'm expecting. But if for some reason, you know, again, if everybody's bearish, say we'll send price up. But if we do hold at 38,500 and then 39,300 becomes support, all right, and then we continue to push up, this would be an ideal point to enter a short. If we get above that and hold support, I will cover some upside targets in the next video. And in the next video, I'll also cover the lowest point I think Bitcoin could go. So guys, if you want to go ahead and subscribe, click that notification bell. That next video, I will cover the lowest point I think Bitcoin will go. Keep in mind, the longer it takes for Bitcoin to drop, the higher that bottom point becomes. So I do want to cover that in the next video. So again, just want to make sure you're aware of these targets. So your current resistance right now is around 39,300. This is a daily candle, by the way. And you can see that this is our current, this was our resistance and support. It's also a fib channel line. So your next resistance level above is around 40,500. All right, and then you have your next major resistance level is going to be around 41,391, but your most key resistance is 42,600. If we drop, your next key support level, well, you can see down here these fib channel lines. If you go further back, you always zoom out, guys, and you can see why. If you notice right here, if we bring this line out, you can see that this has been a key support and resistance level. You can see, I mean, I can go way back. Notice right here, notice that this was support, it was support, all right, it became support, we broke it, became resistance, we pushed up, it was support right here, all right? Once we broke this, we dropped. So again, that's how you know where your next key support and resistance levels are. Same thing with this line. This will be your next key support level below. So if we continue to drop, as I said, once we're below 38,561, we know we have a lot more lower targets. But your next major support level below will be around 37,120 to, well, basically around 37,000. Your next key support level below that will be potentially around 35,000. Again, you can scalp longs, but since we've already crossed this ring, I'm expecting a lot more downside. But these are your targets on the higher time frame. Let's go to, this is the same chart just on the 2 hours. So those resistance levels I gave you are pretty much the same. But you can see if we get above 39,300, which is a key resistance level, your next resistance level to pay attention to is around 40K up to potentially 40,500. And again, like I said, this was support, perfect resistance. So you can see 41,430, but your most key resistance level above will be around 43,500. As you can see, this has been a lot of support flipped as resistance, so it will be resistance again before we have further downside. let's see, the H1 chart. So the H1 chart, guys, so currently you can see that this was support, it was resistance, so your current resistance right now. Also, how I like to play this, guys, if you have matching resistance levels, so pretty much all the charts I've showed you have shown 38,500 as key support level. This is also at the bottom of the Bollinger Band on multiple time frames, 1 hour, 2 hour, daily. That is confluence for support. Notice this is central Bollinger Band on the 1 hour. This is your resistance 39,400. If it becomes support, your next resistance just above, right, is going to be, because we're expecting fib channels multiple directions. Your next resistance is going to be around 39,617. And you can just look left and see how important these lines have been. So you know if you push up, well, next resistance, again, these are great points just for smaller scalp trades, around 40K. And then your next key resistance above would be around 41,123. And then you can see next one is around 41,800. So again, always look left. If we do drop, your next key support level will be around 37,500. Let's go through these guys. So again, and as I mentioned, this D1 fib channel line, you can see you got horizontal support, and we have our fib channel line that's also support. So I'm just showing you how important 38,500 is. You should have already long from this point with the stop below, but again, if that becomes resistance, expect a lot more downside. All right, let's move on. This is in one chart. I may post about this in Discord as well. This is that same orange ring. Notice that this became resistance, support, resistance. We broke down, perfect support, resistance, drop below. So you can see this is your current support. Again, all these charts are 38,500 key support. Next resistance level just above is around 40,800. And if 38,548 breaks, well, your next support level to pay attention to is right here around 37,000. Take note, this is the Bollinger Band on the daily, all right? This is, well, actually, this is a moving average. Not sure which one this is. But you look for confluence. So, 35,600 would be a key support level. Again, what you do is you look through all the charts and you find confluence, and I do post that in Discord to keep you guys updated. The DXY has been pushing up. Remember, Bitcoin is inversely correlated with the DXY. You can see that we've been pushing up since we dropped down as low as we went as 100. Seems like the price does not, or the DXY does not want to go below 100. They won't let it. They keep pushing it up. But notice we pushed up, got a rejection right here at 103. Came down, found support at 102. And current support for the DXY is 103.45. And next resistance is 104.227. Next resistance above is around 105. So keep an eye on the DXY. If it continues up, that's bearish for markets and for Bitcoin. For the Dow Jones, guys, I made a post about this in Discord. So look, your key support right now is right around 37,685. I wouldn't say that's key support. That is your support. Your most critical support below is around 37,067. I do think it's possible that the indices could push up higher. As I mentioned, I will be opening a lot of puts on the Dow if we get up to around 38,761, around that area. Notice that this curve right here has been support, 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 support. We broke it, it became resistance, we dropped down. So if we push up to around 38,700, 38,800, this line is a very key resistance level for the Dow Jones. Remember, the indices move together. So if we get up to this point, I'm not going to open any puts for the Dow right now. I'm going to be patient and wait to see if we push up to this point. But if we do hit that point, that is where I'm opening some puts for the Dow. And once that point gets hit and we start dropping, that's when you can see a lot more price action to the downside for all these altcoins, for Bitcoin and other stocks as well. Let me make sure I gave you all your targets, guys. So again, take a screenshot if you need to, and if you want to sign up to get access to these charts, go ahead. I just want to make sure I covered all of these. So these are your key levels. Again, the Bitstamp 3.0 2 hour and 1 day is the same. They're pretty much the same targets, around 37,052. But the key takeaway for this, guys, just pay attention. Notice we're catching a nice bounce here. If you have access to Discord, I make posts. You have access to the live chart, so you know when to open these longs and these shorts. But again, I would stay short because we crossed this ring. Historically, go back, watch the last videos I've put up over the last month. Every time we cross from the orange rings, we get a large drop. This is nothing compared to what's coming, but it does not mean we cannot push up. So I'd be scalping along for 38,500. But again, once 38,800, all right, as time goes on in the next couple of days, if 38,790 around there becomes resistance, we have a lot more downside. In the meanwhile, we could just kind of chop and go sideways. But remember, 43,616 is your most critical resistance level. If we get above that and hold support, I will make another video covering some more upside targets past that point. Guys, again, if you do want to get access, or if you want to sign up for a CoinCatch, which is a great option from the US, no KYC, and some states do not need a VPN. And also, if you want to sign up for BingX and BitGet, those links to sign up are pinned in the first comment description. And do make sure you watch this tutorial video if you want to learn how to do a trade, or how to trade opening a short, a long, set your stop loss, trigger orders, all that. And if you want to sign up, get access to these charts and our Discord, go ahead and sign up. The link's pinned in the first comment description. Make sure you email me through the website. And if you do want to pay with USDT or USDC, you can do that, but you also need to email me through the website. Guys, that's pretty much it. Again, just remember, we have a lot more downside. It does not mean we cannot chop and push up some. I say, guys, trade safe, trade smart. I'm out.